Afternoon lads, hope you're all alright. Thanks Mike for the nomination to answer these questions. Earliest Llany memory is probably going to have to be playing against you. I've only been at the club for about 18 months now, so I think it must have been about 10 years ago, playing in the Oswestry Sunday League. I remember playing against you away in Four Crosses, and Nathan Bartram wore a full suit, which I thought was a bit odd on a Sunday morning, especially when it was bouncing down with rain. But yeah, that's the earliest memory. Worst trainer, I think I've probably been nominated in every one, so it's got to be myself. Bit of an explanation behind that. Works every Wednesday evening, so I put my little girl to bed. So that's that. I don't train. Best trainer, as explained, I don't go. Just from general attitude and how they turn up. Probably Matt Hudson. I play football with him on a Friday night most weeks, and he puts everything into that, so I can't imagine it's any different to training. Quickest player, Woody. He's young, he can run. I think he'll edge Grant now, especially over the length of a pitch if we ever do get to do one of those. Slowest player, it would be between Prinny and Ryan. Might be slightly unfair on Prinny because he plays in goal, you don't get to see him run very much, but there can't be much in it, can there? It's got to be between those two. Most skillful player, yeah, again, nominated most times, not many of us are that skillful, so it'll go to Grant. He seems to beat a player, then want to beat him again before he goes forward. It's and usually does. Worst game, there hasn't been too many in the last 18 months. We've been pretty solid as a team. Probably for me personally, probably St Dogmeals in the cup. Didn't play particularly well. I came on and got sent off. It's just not one to remember for me, to be honest. I've done it in the wrong order, so we'll go for favourite game now. The game that's most memorable for me would be the Four Crosses where Jamie did the celebration after scoring late on to win. It's one of the games that sits up there in the memories as one of the most memorable, and yeah, it just felt nice to get one over. Best social moment, again, not having been at the club for very long, there's not many to choose from, but going out in Shrewsbury, the shit shirt afternoon, that was one to remember. I think it was pretty good, especially getting asked to move on from half the pubs we went to. That was a good afternoon. Most hated team, Llanfecine really. The pitch is always shit. You share a changing rooms. The pub's expensive, and you very, very rarely get food there. It's just poor, isn't it? Favourite brothers. To be honest, I'm just going to have to go for the ones I speak to the most. I'll probably speak to Ryan Astley the most out of any of the brothers. So purely on that, it's going to be him. It'll be them, I should say. Best finisher. Now, no one's mentioned him, and I'm a bit shocked. I'm going to go for Woody. He very, very rarely shoots. However, when he does, it always seems to go in. And there's a couple where he scored a couple in a game, and there's a header he went for. A diving header, it was behind him, and somehow he got his head onto it and scored. And he just always seems to be there, and you never see him shoot apart from when he scores. So I'm going to go for Woody on that one. Worst finisher. I think you're being nailed with this category, mate, but it is definitely Dean, for obvious reasons. Best meltdown, again, haven't really had many apart from Jamie. But at the start of this season, it was as if Mike had died and we're all going to wear t-shirts. R.I.P. Mike before we played, or at half-time or something. It was, yeah, that's about the only one I can remember. Favourite away ground, for me it's Carsous. The changing rooms are spacious. You've got plenty of space there. It's a proper ground. The pitch is always pretty good. Yeah, it's always just nice to play there. It's a proper ground. I don't really like playing on 4G or Voice Newtown. It'd be up there. Least favourite ground, again, same as most hated team. It'll be Llanfecine. It's pitch is shit. changing rooms are shared, and it's just crap, isn't it? Least favourite player that's left, Gary. He's just a bell end. You couldn't have banter with him. It was all one way. It was never two way. Glad he's gone. Laziest player, probably Callum. Most people have said him, but I think when he's playing up front, he generally stays in the same area. It's Callum. Hardest player. Few people have said it, Dean. He doesn't really mind where he puts his head. You put it anywhere, and if you were to get into any trouble on the pitch or anyone surrounded you, I know first person that'd be there if I turned around, it'd be Dean behind my back, ready to back you up, and doesn't really care what happens to himself so long as everyone else is all right. So yeah, we'll go for Dean for that one. Biggest moaner to the ref, Mike. I think I might give you a little bit of competition, but on the whole, it's you, mate. You take that crown. Worst tackler. Depends which way you take it. You could take it as in worst tackler, as in dirtiest, or most devastating, which in that case probably Lee, just from his leg breaks. I remember playing for Trevonin against you, and Cam's leg got broken. But in terms of worst ability-wise, I don't think I've ever seen Grant tackle. That might be because my memory's poor or my contacts are poor and I just can't see what's going on in front of me. But I'm going to Grant. I just can't really remember him tackling. That's the list. I'm going to nominate Dean. Be interesting to see his answers. And yeah, we'll see how it goes.